Welcome to Bisexual Disasters. I'm Dimitri. My pronouns are he, him. And if I was a nostalgic game, I would probably be the Ooze for the Sega Genesis.
And I'm sorry, my pronouns are she, they, and I have no idea what you're referring to, but I am a bisexual disaster. What? Ooze for the Sega Genesis?
The Ooze.
Is this
You
one of those
played a
things
little,
where it's like right in that little age gap between us?
potentially, potentially the very small age gap between us. Yeah, maybe. It was an old Sega Genesis game where you played this slime ball of ooze and you were traveling around a military base because it was a failed military, blah, 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 blah. You could
Okay.
shoot slime balls. You would run through little slime radioactive piles and you'd gain more volume to your body.
Like the blob,
And kind of.
if the blob could shoot
But like
balls.
of ooze.
Mm.
But like if you got hit by a flamethrower or various other things like that, you would lose volume to your body and you have to go back and collect whatever
Okay.
was separated and not destroyed by the fire. Various things like that. It was honestly a fun game. I never got far in it because my priority was get as much ooze as possible and not pay attention to my environment. It screwed
I know some people like that.
me. Yeah,
Sorry.
yeah. That's how I knew I had like that perfectionism side where I tried to get everything, and every time I lost like half or
Mm.
more, I'd restart.
Yeah,
I
the
never
the
got far.
perfectionism was not what I was alluding to, but yes.
Yeah. So, hello everybody. How's it going?
Ah, I my brain is like blur because usually we're like, an update and stuff, but also what
Right.
I would update would kind of bleed into the topic. So let's just go with a general. How are you?
I'm okay today.
Okay.
A little bit quiet in the house, which is a damning word to say with four huskies, and I know by saying that I've just screwed myself, but hey. Um, more on that later.
Fair, fair, fair.
But how are you?
I am better than last month. Because obviously November is super hard month for me since Bailey.
Mhm.
So yeah, but yeah, I'm a little bit kind of still feeling a bit of time whiplash. Like I can't believe
Yeah.
it's so date of recording is it's the 22nd of December. I cannot believe Christmas is just a few days away. Like that's insane to me. I feel like
Yeah.
this year has gone by so fucking fast. And
Right.
it's
But like
just
looking back at it, looking back at
yeah,
it feels like it took forever.
topical. um but yeah, so I'm still just like I'm really just yeah. I'm in that kind of not quite like disassociative, but that like kind of ADHD time blindness whirl spin that your head goes into when you try to align yourself to time passing, and it's just like
Hmm.
the cogs aren't fitting, the gears are grinding weird. So yeah.
Yeah.
Apart from that, I'm mostly okay. I've been sleeping really shit. Um, the last couple of nights
That's
haven't been
mental.
so bad. But I've been sleeping like even worse than I usually do, which is saying something for me. But it wasn't too bad last night. And yeah, mostly just cold. It's really fucking cold
Yeah.
here. It's really fucking windy. It's been really windy all year. And it's
Yeah.
just so fucking cold. So,
Like
yeah.
we've been around like anywhere between -10 to -2 for like the past couple that Celsius, mind you,
Mm.
for like the past couple weeks, I want to say. But now we're going to be in like anywhere between 6 to 15. And I'm like, yes, yes. I'm okay with that. Even for Christmas, and most of the snow will probably melt by then. But you know what?
mm.
I'll take it. I will take and run with it.
Yeah, that's fair. So, today's topic is a review of 2024. Just notable stuff that happened to us, good and bad, though I feel like we've both managed to just about gather slightly more good than bad on our
I would
lists for
agree with
this
that.
year. Just there's been a very
Right.
much underlying theme of just crippling depression with me this year. So I'm just gonna that's just been in the background the whole time. We're not gonna touch on that a lot because it funnily enough, really fucking depressing. I'm acknowledging it's been there and that. Depression and anxiety, super fucking problematic this year. But that's just been like a constant thing. So
Mm-hmm.
we just
Right.
we're aware of that. It's in the background. We don't have to address it anymore. It's just there. It's always fucking there.
Exactly.
Trauma
Um,
brains. Yay.
Mild discretionary note for this. We are only going to be talking about us and like our lives
Mhm.
and everything. We are not going to be discussing anything political
Oh yeah, no, I couldn't give a
as
shit about politics.
yeah, that's we're talking about our specific lives and our specific experiences and avoiding any hella confrontational
Yeah.
things.
I mean, not just because those things get really controversial in a hurry, but also because I think we both have enough to fucking worry about in our own lives and inside our own heads without
Right.
having severe existential crises about all of the other shit that's going on in the world. So
Right.
this is
Plus
just
living in two different continents kind
personal.
of throws that off.
Yeah. So this is just personal review of our 2024. Um,
Mhm.
do you want to start? Because we have like a rough month-ish order to things. Do you have anything for January on your list?
Mhm.
Okay, you go first.
Um, yeah, so in January, my fiance was actually able to go with me and visit my mom, which is the first time he was able to do so. And the interaction was actually a lot better than I expected.
Mm.
Um, oh shit, no, that was February. January, he did go with me, but we didn't get to meet her. Sorry, brain space. Not all adding up there. This year has
That's
been
okay.
all over. But it was nice. He got to meet some of my family. Some of the ones that are like hella religious. I was
Ooh,
really nervous on, but
yeah, I
they
can
were
understand
like
that.
the opposite. It was very welcoming, very um open to it. And of course, because I mentioned the dogs, now they're barking.
Husky's gonna husky.
It's just gonna be what happens.
I need
So
Streamlabs to
if
stop
throughout this whole
giving me
episode
a
you
panic
hear it,
attack.
right?
Everything's fine. It just did that thing
But
again where all the UI went away, and I was like, "What are you doing? Don't freak me out like that." Sorry. Continue.
yeah, no, you're good. Um, but otherwise, January was just aside from that, it was a month.
Mm.
Um, I was continually growing and happy with my job, so
Mm.
it was what it was.
Yeah. I think the only thing notable for me for January was um the tattoos. Nope, that's the wrong arm.
Mhm,
My I got my Bailey tattoos done. Her paw print and
mhm,
her nose boop over my heart. Um yeah, that was I think really the only thing that happened in January. I did have some ADHD appointments, but I couldn't remember when I was looking at my calendar which ones resulted in what. So my I think the actual diagnosis was December last year,
Mhm.
I think.
Mhm.
So, yeah, February.
February was a big month.
Yeah.
Do you want to go first this time, or do
Yeah,
you
I
want
was
me to
gonna
go?
say, shall I start with the negative so we can
Yeah,
just,
because
because we've talked about it on here a little bit before, and I'm not gonna dwell on it, but
right,
we
because I
had,
know one of the events hit us both.
yeah, with our friend Brandon passing away, that one of the most impactful things that's happened this year to me, I would say. Um and hi dogs. Wow, they actually broke through Discord's noise cancelling. That's impressive. Um
Yeah. So sorry again if you hear the dogs throughout this.
it's fine.
I'm not about to step away and deal with that because I don't know how long that'll take, and I would rather not spend 4 hours recording an hour and a half.
Yeah. Um but yeah, that that happened. Again, I don't really want to dwell on it because it's still a huge fucking knife in my heart that I am continuously dealing with my therapist. So
Mhm.
that happened in February. And um I think I started my ADHD meds in February. Again, looking at, I had a lot of ADHD clinic appointments and I can't remember what happened on what appointment, but I think I started trying ADHD meds, or at least started the
It was near the
preparation
end of February, right?
process. I think so. Because I think I had
Yeah.
blood tests in like mid-February. So I think the prep stage was starting, and then like end of February, beginning of March was when I actually started taking the pills. So I just kind of lumped it in with February because I was like, I don't remember exactly when that happened, and I can't be bothered to dig further to figure it out. So roughly that time that happened.
Mhm. Yeah. For me, February was super uncomfortable. Um, there was the event with Brandon, um, and then that was also the same week where Leo actually did get to meet my mom.
Mm-hmm.
She was incredibly accepting of like our interaction. Um, it was very positive. There was no hate or negativity spewed. It was the kind of interaction that every person bringing a like homosexual relationship to their religious parents wants.
Mm.
It's no negativity, them hoping you the best, wishing you luck, wishing you happiness, giving the mom glare to the other partner of you hurt my kid, I will hurt you kind of a thing. It's what you expect,
Yep.
but you almost never get. And I was very fortunate with that. Um it is also the month where about a week and a half later my mom passed.
Mm.
So I had both of those deaths weighing heavily on me, and
Yeah.
it was potentially the worst month of the entire year
Yeah.
for me. And on top of that, work started like aggressively getting more and more problematic for me.
Mm.
So,
Yeah.
um,
February was shit.
screw February.
February can go fuck
Yeah,
itself.
there's a reason there's only 28 days. Next year there's only going to be 27. I'm calling it into existence now.
We're gonna take February out. We're gonna cut
Just
it out
pluck
one
that
day at a
away.
time.
March has 32 days now.
Yeah, you lost your 28-day privilege, February. Go fuck yourself.
Shit, no, it's a leap year next year, isn't it?
No, it was a leap year this year.
Because it's 2024, next year's 2025.
Yeah.
Math was not mathing. Anyways, March.
I don't have anything for March.
I do.
Ooh.
Um, good and bad.
Okay.
The bad was, well, the bad good kind of was, it was my mom's memorial service.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so I was able to go back over to Ohio, meet with family. I got hugs from members of my family who a hug from them is almost like pulling teeth.
Ooh.
Um, but it
I
was
can
nice.
relate.
They were very accepting. I I no longer had to hide, pretend, anything like that. The fact that me and my fiance are together, whether for their own personal comfort or judgment, whatever, I could just be me. And that was the most me I had ever felt with my family,
Mm.
which is beyond stress relieving
Yeah.
to and to anybody out there who's listening who knows what that experience is like, you know how much weight it takes off your shoulders, your mind, but also your heart, knowing your family's like just there to accept you for it.
Mm.
And to anybody who doesn't know what that's like or is afraid of it, there will still be people who will do that for you. I
Yeah.
guarantee it. Um,
Chosen families are still valid and real families.
yes. And like the full saying goes, the blood of the covenant is thicker than the water of the womb.
Yeah.
The family you choose is the family that is going to be there for you no matter what, despite the fact that people take words out and it makes it sound like family is more important. Yes, family is more important. And the family you choose is the most important,
Yeah.
whether that be blood relation or not. Um, but the same day that my mom's memorial was on, the water pipes in the house that me and Leo used to live in exploded and
Ooh.
flooded. So I
Oof.
drove. I'd been awake for several hours at the point, and I started my like 17, 18-hour drive back. And I ended up stopping at a friend's house who we had been online friends for a while. And then I got to hang out with them. Still freaking amazing people. I took a 2 hour nap there and then started driving back. Might have been 4 hour. I can't exactly remember, but um, drove all the way back, and then within a week of that, we ended up finding a house, applying for a loan, and everything because we needed to move out of the place we were in.
Yeah.
The pipes would freeze every single winter,
Yeah.
and they've yet to do so here. Hiccups?
Knock on wood.
Leave.
Oh, I just remembered something else for January.
Yes.
Um, and another little thing for February, just really quick. I had a spa weekend with my
Mm.
mum at the beginning of January, which was really nice. We went
I
to
remember that.
um we just like went to the hotel down the road. Um and just had a weekend away together, just the two of us, and it was really nice. And we got massages, and it was really nice. And then February, uh um a little thing, sort of kind of bittersweet. So normally I don't really pay attention to Valentine's Day because I think it's a piece of shit holiday. I
Right.
I understand why some couples use it as an excuse to do something. Like couples that actually make a point to do that kind of stuff anyway. Like I know some just use it as an excuse to just have another fun date night and maybe be a little bit
Mhm.
more, extravagant and cheeky than they usually let themselves do because it's a holiday. And I get that. I
Mhm.
hate the competitions that happen on Valentine's Day. It just I'm like, I don't
Mm-hmm.
give a fuck. Leave me alone. But this Valentine's Day, again, sort of bittersweet, but we sent Valentine's Day cards to Brandon's wife, and I also got one from Jamie and Matt. So we did like Palentine's cards this year. Um,
Such a good
just
idea.
yeah, because misery. So we were like, let's try and counter some of that with cute little gift cards for each other because we all live really far away and that's kind of the best we can do. But it was really nice and I still have the card. I have it. It is safe. But
Yay.
yeah, just a couple little things I completely forgot had happened in January and February. My brain is just mush.
Anything happen for you in March?
Nope.
Got it. We move on. April.
Nothing really happened for me in April either. Um,
April was pretty neutral.
it was the um the anniversary of it was the 1 year anniversary of Kaz passing. So
Mm-hmm.
that was kind of shit. Um but apart from that, nothing really happened in April.
Yeah.
That was it. Um was your April also a
May.
nothing?
Yeah, no, my April was pretty bland.
Mm.
May though was very active.
Okay.
May we got approved for the house,
Right?
and then they disapproved it because the shared garage had peeling paint,
Mm.
and the original owners of the house said they were not going to paint it. That is not their problem. So we went over and painted it. We power washed the hell and scraped off the peeling paint, primed it, painted it all in one day. And then it was reapproved. And then the panic of packing, like it,
Mm.
there was so much packing. We didn't think we had that much, but there was so much packing. Like we ended up throwing away like so much junk because there was no way we were going to use that. That no. um, but that was my May.
Yeah. Yeah, I think the only thing that notable that happened to me in May was I think that's when I got my fibromyalgia diagnosis.
Mhm.
Uh
Which we all knew.
yeah, I mean, I'd had a feeling about that for a long, long time. They had assessed me for it previously, like I don't know, like 7 years ago or something. Um when I think I was there for a hypermobility assessment and they did like the fibro test as well with all the like pressure points and stuff. And even back
Hmm.
then they I had like three less, like there's like a certain score where it's like if you get like above this score then it's like yeah, you got it. You got the fibro, bitch.
Right.
Good luck with life. It's gonna be miserable now. And I was like, yeah, like even like 7 or so years ago, I was just below that threshold. And it did
Hmm.
not take long after that for my pain to reach levels of, I think I'm past it now. And then it wasn't until this year that I finally had another assessment for it. And he
Hmm.
was like, yeah, so, with your fibromyalgia. And I was like, I'm sorry, can you say that again? And he's like,
One more time. I just want that validation.
yeah. And me and Mum are like, so is that a confirmed diagnosis then? Like fibromyalgia? And he's like, oh, yeah, definitely. I'm like,
Love
yay!
that.
Chronic fatigue feelings validated. Woo! What can be done about it? Fuck all. Just like my hypermobility syndrome. Just like my BPD. Fuck all! Well, technically with BPD there can be some work done, obviously, but it's really fucking hard. It's hard to traverse.
Mm-hmm.
Because it's really hard to medicate, because a big component of BPD is trauma, and
Mm-hmm. The fun times.
when you didn't start having therapy that was actually useful for any of that trauma until you were 29.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, so I at
Uh,
least got the diagnosis, so I know I have it, which is like, I know some people like don't give a shit about diagnosis and like, why'd you gonna stick a label on stuff? Me. Fuck you to those people. I mean, if that works for you, fine, I don't care, but also fuck you, because having a specific label on something can actually be super fucking helpful. Um, A, just from a validation standpoint. B, from if you're uh the kind of person like me who likes to research things. Like I'm constantly trying to, like, I love learning new things, especially when it's science related, any kind of science really, and especially if it's to do with understanding my own body or mind. Whenever I get a new confirmed diagnosis of something, it not only validates the feelings I was having that led to the appointments that led to that diagnosis, and, you know, is like, okay, cool, I'm not imagining shit. This is actually a thing I have, that someone who went to
mhm.
school for like a decade, a professional, told me, like, confirmed this is real thing I have, like, because I get really bad imposter syndrome. So not only is it really validating and it's a relief to hear, like, yes, okay, you have that thing, even though that thing is not a thing I want, it's at least, you know. But also
Mm.
it means I can then look into that thing, learn more about it, understand it, and then understand why, like, whatever symptoms I have of that, I can then understand where they come from, how to maybe help ease them, and like stuff like that. So it's one of those things where I joke and I'm like, great, I got told I have yet another health condition I can do fuck all about. It still helps, even if it's just mentally, because I know this is a problem that I definitely have. Even if there's not a lot I can do about it, I can at least understand it, and I can
Right.
be a bit gentler to myself when it's causing big problems, because I have a real issue of, again, yay trauma brain, of when problems come up, I just do what everyone else used to do to me and tell me that I'm making it up and it's all in my head and there's nothing wrong with me, and then but when you get,
Mm-hmm.
so yeah, when you have a really traumatized imposter syndrome brain, having a health professional tell you, yes, you have this thing, it is real, it is valid, it is in you, even if you can't do anything about it, it's just really helpful, because then it gives the cunt part of my brain, the BPD shitty part of my brain that bullies me,
Mm-hmm.
helps me shut it up and some when I need it, and just be like, no, I have chronic fatigue. I am extremely tired today. I woke up with a lower amount of spoons than even my low baseline level. Therefore, me
Right.
sitting on my arse all day playing Disney Dreamlight Valley and eating chocolate and curry is completely valid, because that is self-care, and that is what I need when I have very little energy, and like all of it is used on basic bodily functions that most people can go, well, maybe not most people, but you know, I feel like most people can just do and don't have to think about or allow energy to
Mm.
exist But when you have chronic fatigue, you have to allow energy just to get out of bed. Like, the process of getting out of bed, that's a spoon. Getting
Mhm.
dressed, that's another spoon. Taking a shower, that's like fucking at least 3 spoons. Showers are exhausting. Like, and it's just
Mhm.
all these things that I used to bully myself a lot for and just be like, oh, why am I so lazy and useless? And now I'm like, I'm not. I have chronic fatigue and crippling depression. I can give myself a
Right.
break sometimes and not bully myself when I have zero motivation. So it's just those little
Right.
things where it's like, you know, like on the surface, it's like, yeah, cool, I got a diagnosis. But the good that it's done just in my own brain is at least something. It's a good it's a good thing, even if there's nothing medical that can really be done about it. It definitely helps mentally. I talked about that for way longer than I meant to.
No, you're totally okay.
uh, um hey, I ramble. Is that everything for
It's like
May?
we have ADHD.
I know, right? Who'd have thought?
Uh, that was May.
Yeah, it was that. It was that everything for May.
I think so.
Okay. I don't think I have anything for June.
I do.
Okay.
That is when we officially closed on our house and moved in.
Woohoo!
And this house has been a huge freaking blessing because it has a fenced yard. So I could just let all my dogs out to run around for like 45 minutes to an hour.
Hell
And they
yeah.
just love instead of taking them outside one by one on a leash to use the bathroom
Mm.
in an area that shouldn't be an HOA, but they treat it like an HOA. I hated that
Yeah.
place.
I mean, doing that with
So yeah.
having to do that with any dog, like having to keep them on a leash just so they can go out and use the like I was gonna say use the toilet, but you know, go and take a shit or a piss is
Right.
annoying. Having to do it with 4, even more annoying. Having to do it with 4 huskies?
On your lunch break,
No.
yeah, because 30 minutes and then taking them all outside and hoping they do everything and then getting back inside and not having time to eat or anything and go back to your 12-hour shift.
Yeah.
No, thank you.
Mm. No gracias.
Um,
Um
right.
oh, there was one little
And
thing that
then
happened in June actually.
go for it.
There was my mum's she used to go to a singing club.
Mm-hmm.
Um and they did a show in June. So that was that. That was nice. I got sunburned
Yeah.
because I'm an idiot and I didn't put sunscreen on before we went out, and I didn't know we were going to be sitting open in a essentially an open beer garden for the entire afternoon in the very sunny sky. So I got sunburned, but it was fine.
I remember the pictures.
Yeah. I also had to like walk off and have a cigarette because um like just before the show started, they were just playing like idle music and
Mm-hmm.
a song came on, and I cannot remember exactly which song it was. It was probably like Just the Way You Are or something, but it was
Mm-hmm.
one of or like I don't know. I think it was one of the songs I used to sing to Bailey.
Mm-hmm.
And so it came on and I was like, "Oh, for fuck's sake." And was like, "Nope."
You're
So I
like,
just walked
nope,
out to the car
I'm
park and
gone.
had a cigarette. I was like, "I'll be fucking back in a minute." But yeah, it was nice. I also cried a little bit during Mum's solo because um a little pride, a little sad because she was singing Chasing Cars.
Oh.
And it's an emotional song anyway, but it's also one that Kaz used to ask her to sing a lot because she liked my mum loves was one of the my mum's favorite songs to sing, and Kaz loved listening to her sing that song, which is part of the reason why she chose that one to do her solo in the show, because it means a lot to her. And so I'm sitting there like holding her phone, videoing her, and I'm just like trying to cry quietly so that it can't be picked up on the video. So I'm just sitting there like tears just silently trickling down my cheeks, just like, don't sniffle until you have stopped the video. Don't sniffle. Your sniffle will be
Don't
audible on
sniffle,
the
hold the phone
video.
still.
Yeah, just keep still, cry in silence. Everything will be fine. And then as soon as the video was over, I was like, then nothing happened. I don't know
Yep.
what you mean. Mm-mm.
Cute thought. Nothing happened.
Yeah.
Moving on.
But yeah, that was the only thing that really notable that happened for me in June. What about the July?
So
Or did you have more June?
let's see. No, not
Okay.
really. Um, let's see. July. The only thing I could really notice, my desire to move departments was growing intense because that's when everybody started hitting me with like, this is a thing you've done, when everybody else I was working with was telling them that's complete and utter bullshit.
Mm.
Like the department I worked in is a very intense one. Um, and emotions can run really high. And the position that I was in is one that regularly has intense burnout,
Mm.
especially when certain people will put too much responsibility onto you in areas they should have responsibility on instead. Um,
Was it A&E you were working in before? The I can't remember what the American equivalent of that is. Accident and emergency.
Basically, but I was working more on like the patient care side.
Mm.
So I had a lot of people who, specifically in July and August, who were in the hospital for hospice. They were at their end of life treatment,
Right.
and that is a lot to deal with. Um, Only because you have family who are justifiably grieving. You have the ones who are in denial, who, no, no, let's fight this. Let's use medication. Let's use treatments. Let's do surgery. I just want to state this right now. If you have someone in their late 80s or beyond who has a broken hip, surgery is ill advised because it is almost impossible to come back from it.
Mm.
I have not seen a single person go through hip surgery in their late stage of life and not pass shortly thereafter.
Yeah.
So
It's
treat them well, give them pain meds, let them live the rest of their life.
mm.
But it's going to be a struggle for you mentally as it is for them mentally. That pain will cause them to think things that are not happening.
Yeah. It's like I saw one of my friends on Facebook. I know Facebook, ew, yeah, whatever. Um I saw one of my friends posted something about like um I can't remember where they were talking about, but it was about euthanasia um getting more likely to be allowed. Um and it was just like the I can't remember the words of the post, but the vibe was basically like, you know, we don't treat our pets this way. Why do we treat our fellow humans this way? It's like, you know, if your animals that you know love and whatever are, you know, they're a part of the family and they get to their golden years and they get problems, and you know you make that decision when it's got to the point where they have no quality of life if you keep them around, and it's selfish to like Bailey, for example, I'm not going to cry. Bailey, for example, her cancer was not just in her liver, it had spread to her lymph nodes, and the bit that was in her liver
Mhm.
looked like spider webs. Like, there's no way, even if she was a younger dog, that they would have been able to get rid of that. And like what you were saying with age and operations, with how old she was, she might not have even survived the anesthetic she would have needed for the operation, even if the cancer was operable. The anesthetic alone would have been bad for her at that age. And so, you make that choice when it gets to a certain point, you make that choice to ease their suffering and to let them go peacefully instead of slowly and painfully. The fact that
Mhm.
so many people refuse to do that for their fellow humans is strange to me, because we're all living, breathing animals.
Right.
Just because some of us can talk doesn't make us worth any more, in my opinion, than animals. Like, than,
Mhm.
animals
Uh,
that can't talk, because humans are animals. So, like,
right.
like,
Write that down because I feel like that could be an interesting topic for another,
mm,
like discussing like or disgusting
disgusting.
discussing like the moral compass on certain things.
Mm,
That could be a good one. Anyways,
yeah.
sorry, ADHD moment there. Go on.
Yeah. But it was just like, as you were saying that, I was like, just reminded me of that post and just made me think, like, it is strange, the differences in how we treat animals, pets, whatever, versus other humans. And it's like, what?
Mhm.
Why?
Right.
But
Um, August.
I turned 30.
Yay!
I turned 30.
Like,
Yeah.
oh my god, you turned 30?
Like, oh my god. Um, oh, I didn't wait. I didn't say my July thing.
Oh shit, go ahead.
I went to Folkestone Pride in July. It was really fun. I went with mum. It was cool. Um, I was. She actually went to two prides this year. The first one she went to was in Ashford. She went without me because I was too depressed,
Yeah,
and
that's right.
I couldn't. My anxiety could not. But I went with her to the Folkestone one, which I almost didn't. I almost didn't because, again, depression, anxiety. But I was like, no, 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 no. I want to fucking go to Pride. I want to go to a Pride. And it was really cool. I think I like showed all of my fucking shit that I bought. Not shit, but my stuff that I bought that day.
Mhm.
Um, the recording after. So I'm not going to go into that all again. But that happened in July. That was really fun. Um, yeah, that was the only notable thing for me in July, I think. But yeah, August I turned 30, and Steph came over to visit from Germany, and we had a party, and uh yeah, I got to hang out with Steph and Connor, and it was really fun. We saw shooting stars. We saw quite a lot of shooting stars because there was a fucking meteor shower the week that Steph was here.
Mhm.
So yeah, my birthday week was really nice. Um, I think that's the only notable thing for me in August, which is again another one of the biggest things this year because it's a milestone. It was really fun. But yeah, that was my August. Was birthday, and then it was holy shit, I just had a full week of social interactions. I am not talking to anyone for the rest of August. Well, not literally, but
Mhm.
I was like kind of
Yeah.
I was a hermit for a lot of the rest of August because I was like, that was really fun. Now I need to not see people. Because, the typical, like, neurospicy slash anxiety, like, even if you've had really good social interactions, you still have that come down afterwards where you're like, I need to
Mhm.
recover, even though this was really wonderful and the people I was with were really wonderful, I still need to recover no matter how good the time was. It's like you still need that recovery period. So I had like my
Mhm.
birthday week of just like seeing Steph almost every day, seeing Steph every day, seeing Connor almost every day, had the party and everything. And then when like Steph went home and Connor went home, I was just like the first couple of days, it was that like, it's so quiet. I feel so alone. And that calm down
Right.
of like, oh, lonely. And then the rest of the month was just like, I'm just going to relax in this silence. No one talk to me. No one ask anything of me. I've out-socialed myself for this month. That was enough. It's like, you have the little lonely period and then the, okay, I'm over the lonely, now just don't fucking talk to me. Like, that was my
Right.
August.
Oh, apparently my audio was picking up through the wrong audio device.
Oh, you sound smoother now.
Right.
Ooh.
I actually feel nice.
Hell yeah.
So sorry. Now I sound smooth and lovely.
I'm gonna turn you up in slobs a little bit.
Said no one ever.
There we go. Hey, I just said you sound smooth. Shut the fuck up.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that's fair. But yeah, no, sorry guys. I didn't even check what my audio output for like this was.
It wasn't that bad.
Sorry.
It was fine.
Well, that's good.
How was your August?
Um, my August was for like the worst turmoil when it came to work. It was nothing
Mm.
but being told I'm doing everything wrong, doing all this, doing all that. It was miserable as hell.
Mm.
I had one person specifically not doing their job, and instead of me being able to do anything about it, they were so buddy buddy with a lot of like the supervisors from like years past, they could get away with almost anything. And I was looked at under a microscope for every tiny insignificant flaw.
That's such bullshit.
Mm-hmm. So I started reclusing at work, and people noticed. I don't care.
I mean, at least they
I was
noticed.
yeah, and then they scrutinized it.
I mean,
So
not much
you
consolation,
can't
but
win.
I feel like it would be worse if they
No,
hadn't even noticed.
justifiable.
Yeah, like that's the
Hmm.
yeah.
Oh,
Like even
another
if you
thing that
don't really
happened.
care what they think about you, I feel like it still would
Right.
have hurt a little bit more if no one even noticed. It's just like, oh, well, fuck you then.
Yeah. Another thing that happened.
I can't
We
get my
kicked out our
legs
old
comfy.
roommate because our old roommate was not paying rent, and they quit
Oh,
their
yeah,
job.
that's right.
Yeah, and so I was like, that's cute. We were trying to help you out of a shitty situation. You just created another one. Um, with respect, you haven't paid rent in this long. You need to leave.
Which is fair.
So it is. Um, let's see. I can't think of anything else for that month. What
Uh,
about you?
for August?
Yeah.
Are we still in August? My brain just short circuited.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, no, it was it literally was just my birthday week of like happy fun friendship time, and then it was
Mhm.
like 2 days of me being like, I miss my best friends, and then the rest of the month of me being like, I still miss my best friends, but I also don't have the energy to really talk to many people at all, because even though it was a wonderful time, I'm now spent on my social battery. So,
Mhm.
although the
Um.
one great thing about like hanging out with Steph and Connor is like I don't feel the need to like mask a lot around them,
Mhm.
even though it's kind of like an instinctive, like automatic reaction to do so. It comes down a lot quicker with them. Same with like you and like Jamie and Matt, and like
Mhm.
it's not. There are very few people at the moment with how. What are you fiddling with?
It's a little
Is that a
mushroom
mushroom?
thing that
That's
Leo
so
made me,
cute.
and it unfortunately broke off. Yeah, it's kind of adorable. He like painted
Oh
it and everything. Unfortunately, it broke, so I'll have to super glue it back together.
no. Oh. Anyway. Anyway. Um.
We're not ADHD. Don't know what
Not
you're
at
talking about.
all. um. Yeah. So I forgot what I was saying. Oh yeah, there are very few people who I could spend like most of slash all of a week with how bad my like depression anxiety has been lately, and my increasing no decreasing energy allowance from fibro
Mhm.
getting worse, and like there are very few people who I would be able to socialize with that much for like a whole week. um
Right.
so it was, it wasn't like, oh my god, it was so exhausting hanging out with them. No, it was lovely, it was great, it was fucking wonderful.
It just
um
so happened to exhaust you.
it just so happened to exhaust me because it anything that costs any energy is exhausting, and obviously spending time with people and wanting, like, going on countryside walks, which again, fucking beautiful, lovely, but it still costs energy. So there's still going to be that
Right.
period afterwards where I'm going to need to recover, even though it was a good experience. It still like needs a recovery period. So yeah,
I
that was
need
literally
mana.
just the yeah, that was literally just the rest of my August was just recovering from social birthday shenanigans, and yeah,
Mhm.
just chilling on my own. And then September, uh the only thing I really have for September is my mum's birthday is at
Mhm.
the beginning of the month, and then I'm skipping over a couple of appointments because that's part of an ongoing thing that I'll kind of summarize at the end, because I have like a few on things that are still ongoing, so I'm skipping them so I can be more concise. So
Mhm.
yeah, September, apart from a couple of appointments, was just like my mum's birthday, which my mind has gone completely blank and I don't remember what we did for my mum's birthday.
It'll come back up. I guarantee it. Um, but my September was very busy.
Mm-hmm.
It was all over the place with things that happened.
Oh, we had a barbecue, I think. Sorry. I'm pretty
No,
sure we had a
I
barbecue.
told you it'd come back.
Yeah, continue.
Um, September was a mentally trying month for me.
Mm-hmm.
I got accepted into a new position that paid a lot better and had a fixed schedule. It was great. Um, that's also the month where a specific supervisor, who I'm pretty sure has something out against me, put up a argument that I was providing insubordination. It was proven false from several different witnesses. Even before the head supervisor of the whole unit saw it, they had verbal communication from someone that it wasn't true before anybody even knew about it. So like they came in, looked at the report and were like, that doesn't sound like anything I heard.
Mm.
Um I also got accepted into therapy, which was nice, and I was going to start that in the next month.
Yeah, yeah.
Um so and then it was also the first birthday that my mom wasn't around. So
Mm.
I almost sent a happy birthday text to her and realized that it probably wouldn't have sent. Uh,
Yeah.
and then um, I had a picture of my mom hanging in like the stairwell. I still have it there, but every time like as close as it got to her birthday, I would constantly walk down and up the stairs, and every time I'd see it, and I'm like, oh, cool, I want to cry now. I'm gonna
Mm.
cry. I'm gonna go into the room and cry. So that's happening. Um,
To bastardize a quote from Jurassic Park, when you gotta cry, you gotta cry.
mm-hmm. And I did
Mm.
a lot.
Good.
But
I
that
mean,
was
not
basically my.
good, but you know what I mean. Like, good that you got it out.
Mm-hmm. But that was September for me.
Yeah. Yeah.
October.
October was again not much of note apart from some more appointments that lead into the one of the ongoing investigations. Um and apart from that, it was just Halloween was fun. I waited until after the like trick-or-treaters had finished. We ran out of candy. I had to draw a little like sorry we're out of candy thing on my whiteboard and just like affix it to our front door because yeah, we don't normally run out, but we ran out. Um and yeah, so there was that, and then I did a Halloween stream, and I so normally so I'm pagan, shock horror.
Mm-hmm.
Um if I haven't mentioned that on the podcast before, which I feel like I almost definitely have, I'm pagan. Hi.
I think you have.
I think I have as well. Normally I I don't do something for every Sabbath because I am bad at remembering things. And 8 things in a year is a lot of things to remember with all of the other things I have to remember in a year. So, but the one I always make sure I do something for is Samhain. So, and I have like a specific like ritual that I have done pretty much every night on Halloween for the last handful of years, and it's basically just a sort of it's to simplify it for people who don't know a lot about paganism or anything like that. It's basically manifestation with candle lighting and a small fire. Like, you light some candles, you say some stuff, you write some stuff down that you want to like manifest getting rid of, that you want to manifest changing, and you just like burn it and just like meditate on achieving that thing for yourself in the next year period. It's That's basically what it is. It's just like manifestation and meditation with some fire and some bells and whistles on it, just to, you know, just to sort of, I don't want to say dumb it down, but kind of to dumb it down so that people that don't
In
know a
more
lot
layman's
about,
terms.
yeah, so that anyone that doesn't know a lot about like pagans and rituals and stuff, it's a lot of it is just fairly basic ideas with some bells and whistles on it, because gives, at least from my perspective, the bells and whistles give some added focus, I would say, is the best way to describe it. So, because I'm kind of more on the agnostic side, so even though on the occasions when I do rituals, I like calling to the gods and goddesses is part of the, setting the circle and everything. I am kind of agnostic in my beliefs, so I'm my kind of the way I sort of approach it is like there might be absolutely fuck all out there that's actually like there might be fuck all out there. I have no idea.
Mhm.
It's also not really important to me if there is or isn't, because in my uh brain, like the way I think about it is like the when you use specific colors of candles or specific kinds of crystals, or you call out to specific gods or goddesses that may or may not exist. For me personally, whether those things actually make any mystical difference has zero importance in what I'm doing, because it's not about like, oh, I think this crystal is magical and is going to fix all my problems. It's, I know what this crystal or this color of candle or this god or goddess represents, and that symbolism helps me focus on what my goal is.
Mhm.
So with like the Samhain ritual, it's like, these are I'm focusing on what I want to get rid of, what I want to make way for the next year period, and these specific things that I'm like, the symbology I'm using is helping me focus on that intent for myself. That's, I think, the best way I can explain it. Which, again, is not the same for all pagans. A lot of people believe a lot of different things. That's just how I go about it, because I'm very science-minded. But I mean, science and
Yeah.
magic.
It is what it
There are
is.
a lot of things they used to call magic hundreds of years ago that is just really basic science taught to like 10-year-olds now. So, like, I don't know all the
Oh,
answers. I'm never in our lifetime gonna know all the answers, but it's like I don't need to. I know enough to know what I want, and I'll use whatever symbology is helpful for me to focus on getting that for myself. All the
exactly.
rest of it is just down to preference,
Mhm.
is how I feel. So yeah, just to simplify that. But yeah, so normally that's what I do for Halloween on the night. And this year I ended my stream, and I thought about doing that, and all I could think about from the last year period was Brandon and Bailey. And I was, normally in years past, a lot of the things I've wanted to flush out of my life is toxic situations, usually involving very toxic individuals. And when I thought about it this year, I was like, I don't really have any like issues with toxic people affecting my life right now. The only negative thing that's affecting my life is the overwhelming grief, which isn't the same, because even though it hurts deeper, it's like it's a bittersweet pain, because
Yeah.
the depth of your grief is a reflection of the depth of the love. So it's like it's not something that I think anyone should try and rush to flush out of them. It's something that needs to be handled gently at your own pace, whatever is right for you. So the attitude I usually approach Halloween night with, I was like, that doesn't fit this year, because I don't want to be like, no, get rid of my grief. Ugh. Like, no, I need to be patient
Right.
with myself about that. So it was different. So then I was just like out of ideas and I didn't know what to do. So I ended up doing a a s- I was gonna say a grief ritual. It wasn't really a ritual. It had so fewer bells and whistles. I literally lit this candle that my sister got me after Bailey passed that says "No longer by my side, forever in my heart." I lit this. I put on my grief therapy playlist because I have a bunch of songs in a playlist in Spotify that it's like when I'm really feeling it and I need help to get like when you really need to cry but you have like that block where your body won't let you. I have a
That barrier
playlist for
you put
that.
up.
Yeah, I have a playlist for that. So I put that playlist on, I put that candle on. I had like a picture of Bailey on my phone. I had a picture of Brandon Kaz. I had a picture of Kaz on my phone. I had this Polaroid picture of Bailey, the Instax picture of Bailey, and I had a picture of Brandon on the PC. So I had like all three of them in front of me and was just listening to this playlist and just fucking crying for like an hour and just like singing along to the songs. And mum came and joined me and we like cried and sang together. And that was our Samhain ritual this year, was candle, photos, crying and singing, because that was what we needed this year. And the other part of it is, it is a renewal holiday, but it's also the veil is thin, like honor those you've lost kind of a holiday.
Mhm.
So the focus was more on that this year, which was very cathartic and very exhausting. The next day I was so tired. My eyes were stinging. Like my throat hurt from the like
I think we talked that
singing and
day.
scream crying. I was just like, ow. It was so bad. But it was needed and it was very therapeutic.
Mhm.
So it was, yeah, it was a little different to how it usually goes, but it was, again, another one of those things that was negative and positive at the same time. Because it's painful, but it was needed. So
Right.
it was good. But what about your October?
My October was very busy. Um, Started off, I officially transferred into the new position, and ever since that day, I freaking love it. I've
Yeah, you did.
improved so much in like just the past few months on that job, but I love the pay raise. It's so nice. The pay raise is so nice. Only because I kept on getting told originally that the transfer was limited and possibly not going to happen because of that like written nonsense
Mm-hmm.
from before. Like I was told by two different people, yeah, this thing will stop your transfer and it will also stop all pay raises. And I'm like, that's not what I was told
Mm.
by these people. And they're like, oh, well, I work with those people. I'm like, yeah, that's not what they told me. So the
Yeah.
lady who was talking to me is like, yeah, I need to talk to them because this is policy. And when I shared that information with the others, like, that's not policy. That's not policy at all because we have it written down here. What is policy? And that's not the same. So we'll talk to them. And then the transfer was immediately accepted after that. So I'm like, yeah, they must have talked.
Yeah.
But um, after that, I got more in touch with a bunch of friends. We ended up going and watching a play together called She Kills Monsters.
Hmm.
If you have never seen it, it was written by a wonderful lady. Um, and it's basically a play entirely about D&D
Oh, sick.
and processing grief
Oh,
through
sick.
D&D. It it is intense.
I
Like
bet.
it's funny, it's got intense moments, it's got like those eye-opening periods where like, oh, oh, oh. It's really good. Dogs, stop barking. Um, but it was really fun.
That's good.
The entire month. every single Sunday, my fiance got me a different gift.
Hmm.
Up until, like, my birthday where it was a tote full of random things.
Aw.
Like, I let's see if I can do this without dropping everything. I got 3 of these little flower things. They're
Mm.
fake, yes, but they're iridescent, so in different light, they shimmer a different color.
Pretty.
This one is supposed to be white, then there's a blue and a purple one, and I have them
Ooh.
on the ring light that I have in the background, so they always shimmer in different colors. Love them.
Nice.
Um, and then in the tote, like, I got a couple really cool nerd T-shirts.
Hell yeah.
A I got 2 Pokemon stuffed animals because we are nerds. I got a
Checks out.
Dratini
Nice.
and a Pikachu in a Mega Evolved Charizard, like, onesie.
Pikachu.
It's so freaking adorable.
Pika, Pika.
Um, there was all that. My birthday itself was very low key. It wasn't, like, extravagant or anything. But it was fun. I got to go bowling at one point in the month. Um, a lot of things that I have been wanting to do. Oh my god, please don't stop or please stop howling. Yikes, dogs.
Huskies.
Um, yeah, all of them. Um, and then on Halloween, this is the first year that we have successfully done trick or treating. We have tried
Ooh.
the past 2 years. One year was absolutely nothing. The next year, we had one person knock on the door, and within 30 seconds of trying to get to the door, they were gone.
Bruh.
This year, we almost ran out entirely of candy,
Oh shit.
and we had people over and over. We had people asking, like, who we were. Like, Leo was obviously someone from Harry Potter. Like, he had the sorting hat on, he had, like, a little robe thing, had a magic wand. I think he picked McGonagall's, which too soon. Um,
Hmm.
but like it was so nice. It was so relaxing and it was so peaceful to just have that moment of we actually have a house that people will come to. And
Mm.
since then, I have also installed lights on the staircase leading to our patio because the amount of people tripping on those steps was painful.
Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah. We got to carve pumpkins with a couple friends. I made mine with like a silly little smile. Leo tried making one and then it devolved from there into using modeling clay to add like mushrooms and little like fungi growing on it to make a Last of Us pumpkin.
That's cool.
And as they rotted in the sun over the next few days, they became even more terrifying.
Yeah. Checks
Uh,
out.
n- the inside of my pumpkin went black. So it's
Ooh.
the smile of hey went to hey.
Oh god.
It 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 was terrifying. I wish I had pictures of it. And his just looked like it was further becoming a zombie. So accurate.
Mm.
Um, but all in all, October was one of my favorite months of this year
That's good.
for all the things that happened and everything. It was just really nice.
October's the
November,
best month of the
objective fact.
year.
I think it's just a fact. November was interesting.
Mm.
I injured my ankle. Uh, and Leo was like, "Oh, it's probably nothing. Just walk it off and everything." So I went to the doctor a couple days later because it wasn't getting better. It had grown to the size of a softball. Like you could see my ankles, and one was clearly not okay. I
That's
went;
not
it was
good.
sprained. The doc said he actually would have hoped that it was either a broken bone or a torn tendon because those heal twice, if not 3 times as fast as a sprain.
Mm.
So I'm still wearing the ankle brace and trying to stay off it as much as I can, which is nearly impossible when I sleep on the second floor. All the dogs are on the first floor, and I walk everywhere as my job.
Oh god. I just
But
realized I misremembered when my stepdad's birthday was because I'm terrible with remembering dates of things.
same.
That was also in October, and we went out for a meal and went bowling.
Yes, I remember you talking about that.
Yeah, that was a fun night. That yeah, that's all.
Um,
Just it was fun.
but for all the people who celebrate Thanksgiving and everything, I haven't celebrated an actual Thanksgiving in so long. The last Thanksgiving that I did celebrate was like a Friendsgiving,
Mm-hmm.
and that was a train wreck. Like it was a grotesque one. Like we all were there for maybe 30, 40 minutes before we decided we're done
Oh
because of
no.
how bad it went.
Oh.
Um it was not a good time. So this year we got these little certificates from our work that was like $25 worth of like specifically like meat or produce for Thanksgiving.
Mm-hmm.
We found a 23-pound turkey, and it cost us with that thing, that $25 coupon, $4 and some odd change.
Damn.
We brought that whole thing to a friend's house, who invited us over for Thanksgiving. That turkey was so much. There was leftovers, and they invited like 20, 25, 30 people. So like I was happy that that turkey lasted.
Yeah. Fuck.
And then we just bought a with the other one we just bought a bunch of like fruit and veggies for
Mm.
ourselves at our house. But it was nice having a legitimate like Thanksgiving experience after so many years of either not being able to celebrate it, working, or just a not fun Friendsgiving.
Yeah.
So it was a
Yeah.
time. But
Yeah.
I enjoyed this one. It was really nice. And you?
My November was um shit. It was there's no nice way to put it. It was shit. All I could think about was Bailey and how much I missed her because it was a year.
Hmm.
And November was shit. It was just mainly me crying a lot and not really talking to people very much because I was just very fucking depressed. So November was
Yeah.
shit. um
Wasn't that the month we also did like the painfully long and aggressive recording for that one freaking episode that took almost
no.
4 hours to record?
I think that
Or was that
was
September?
September. We didn't record in
I
November.
never remember. No, we didn't.
Mm-mm.
Jeez, I'm sorry, everybody.
Yeah, our bad,
That
but also
that's on us.
depression and also
Yeah,
life.
grief.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Uh, but yeah, so there was that. Um, I was gonna. A thought popped into my head and immediately went out of my head again. I hate it when that happens.
Okay. Well, it is your turn to start again, so you can start going December and then retract into November if you need.
Yeah. God, I fucking hate my brain sometimes. Um.
Mood.
Mm, oh, this isn't what I was gonna say, but to for the uh year anniversary of Bailey passing, I ordered my favorite pizza order because I don't really order takeaway very much anymore, but whenever I would order pizza, she would always steal it from me. So I ordered my favorite pizza and I tried to get chocolate chip muffins because the first food she ever stole from me was the remaining like third to a quarter of a chocolate chip muffin, and I couldn't find one anywhere. And then my mom had to go into town that day for, I believe, an optician's appointment,
Hmm.
and I like called her at one point because uh oh, she'd had a parcel delivered, but I was like
Hmm.
crying my fucking eyes out because of what day it was,
Hmm.
obviously. And of course, I was crying my eyes out. And so we were like on the phone, and she made me laugh, and it was really sweet. And then, um, she had been going around town before her appointment, looking for a chocolate muffin for me so that I could have one, because I couldn't
Oh,
find one when I tried to find one. So, and when she finally came home from town, she like walked into the living room and just handed me this double chocolate chip muffin, and I was just like, I love you, you're such a good mom, and just like cried. Um,
we love
and
your mom.
I have such a fucking amazing mum. I love my mum so much. And also fucking shout out to Steph, because I was having one of those days where I was like, mental state was approaching unsafe
Abysmal.
territories. Let's put it that way.
Hmm.
And I was like, okay, the words of my therapist were kind of circling in my head, because had said to me the session before that was like, don't be alone. Don't let yourself hide and be alone, because you need people. Like you need
Hmm.
someone at least. And so yeah, my brain was starting to spiral, and like the voice of my therapist was just like coming in my head like, don't be alone. Don't be alone. Don't be alone. And I was like, okay, fine. And so it's just like I messaged Steph, and she uh hopped into a VC with me when she got out of work and just listened to me sob basically for a bit, and then we just chatted and stuff and hung out. Once I obviously calmed down after a bit, I kept having like little moments of sobbing every so often where I would just start again, but it was had one of my besties there to keep me company for the evening, and it was nice to just it's nice to know that I have that.
Hmm.
So yeah, that was bittersweet again. Like a very prominent word for a lot of stuff that's happened this year. It's bittersweet.
Hmm.
Um, but yeah, and then December so far. I mean, we're near the end of it now. I've got everything ready for Christmas. We're gonna be spending Christmas at my sister's. We're gonna be there Christmas Day. She's cooking dinner for us. Uh, and excuse me, I've got all presents bought and wrapped and stuff, so that's all sorted. It was just uh Connor's birthday, so Steph was down again, so I spent
Hmm.
a couple days with them too, which was really nice. Um, it we were going to see Sonic 3 yesterday, but
Hmm.
um left it too late to order the tickets, and by the time we looked on the app, it was like pretty much every showing was almost completely full, which is
Hmm.
surprising because hardly anyone goes to the cinema these days. And
It's actually become a lot more popular recently, especially in
even
America.
not over here. And even like the last two times we've gone, because I was like keeping my mum updated because she was going to be meeting me afterwards, and I like she was like, oh, but this film has only just come out, and I'm like, yeah, but so had the last two movies we went to see at the cinema, and they were like really empty, like screens for what were really amazing movies. And then this one, for some reason, was just fucking chock-a-block. I was like, what the fuck? What the fuck?
Childhood
So
nostalgia.
yeah. So we ended up not doing that, but we went bowling instead. So and Steph won. She
Why am I actually not shocked about that one?
yeah, she got 96. I got 79. Connor got 76. I was winning right up until halfway through. I was doing well on the first
I
half, and then I lost it a bit on the second half. And Steph was the other way around.
I very, very, very rarely break 100, and I don't. Okay, anybody who bowls and gets like normal like 200 at this and everything, you have a talent I don't have, but I go for the fun. So if I
Mm-hmm.
get a gutter ball or 17, it's fine. I'm just having fun.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
don't aim for perfection. I don't aim for a high score. I aim to have fun.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
And then
did anything else happen?
the other thing that happened this month was I finished reading my books.
Yes,
26 fucking books this year, bitch. The beginning of
get
this
it.
year, I said my realistic goal was between 5 and 10 books. Idealistically, I would have liked to have read 14, the Lart and Crepsley saga and the Demonata saga. Me, being the psychopath that I fucking am, even after the like 2 to 3 month break between like, I don't know, March and May or whatever it was, where I
Mhm.
just could not get in the
Couldn't
mental
function.
space for reading at all. Even with that 3 month break, I still, when I finished the Lart and Crepsley saga, was like, you know what? I know I said 14, but hear me out, me. I want to reread the Darren Shan saga too, the Cirque du Freak saga, whatever you want to fucking call it. I want to reread that too. So I read that. And then I proceeded to also read the aforementioned Demonata series. So I have read, because Lart and Crepsley saga is 4 books, the Darren Shan, Cirque du Freak, Vampire's Assistant saga thingy, that one is 12, Demonata is 10. So I have read 26 books this year, and I'm fucking proud of myself for that. That
Hell yeah.
That's like my biggest achievement this year is I read 26 fucking books. And I mean physically read, not audiobooks. I physically, my ADHD ass with shitty eyesight and shitty concentration and shitty fucking distractible head and headaches and all the bullshit that stopped me from physically reading as much as I used to when I was younger. Me, this brain read 26 physical books in 1 year. Technically in
That's
about nine
thousands of pages.
technically in about 9 months, because 3 of those months I didn't read a fucking thing. And
Mhm.
they're all, I think, like, let's say 300 pages average.
Mhm.
So that's somewhere between like 7.5 and 8,000 pages.
Mhm. That's
So
almost 10,000 pages. That's awesome.
I'm quite fucking proud of myself, I'm not gonna lie. When I set this goal at the beginning of the year, I knew that working out the math, it was achievable. I also was not 100% confident that I personally would be able to achieve it, if that makes sense. I'm so happy that I have. I'm not gonna lie, real fucking proud of myself. I read 26 books, motherfucker. I'm
That's
so happy.
awesome.
Oh,
My
they're
month has
really
been
good too.
special.
Really good books. I recommend them. I know they're like the teen horror genre or whatever, but they are
That
genuinely
doesn't
really
change how
good.
good something's
I
right.
I recommend them. Very good
Well
books.
written is well written regardless.
Yeah. Don't
But
let the
let's
the
see.
teen part of the genre put you off. They are good books.
Let's see.
They
This month,
might make you cry though. I cried a lot reading them, but it was worth
this month has been mentally trying.
it. Mm-hmm.
Um, on the level of as of the 20th, I will not see my fiance again until the end of the year
Yes.
because they are driving all the way to Florida cross country
Yeah.
to visit family.
Can't believe he's driving that whole
Uh
way. Or has driven?
has before.
Has driven. Because he's
Yes,
already
and
there,
is
right?
currently.
Yeah.
Oh no. No, no, no. He's still on the road.
Oh.
I've gotten a text from him. I haven't read it yet.
Oh.
But no, he is still
Oh,
driving.
damn.
I assume the next 5 or 6 hours he'll be there.
Okay.
He started at like 7 a.m. So no, he's probably gonna get closer to like
Oof.
midnight actually.
Oof. That's not ideal.
But there's that. Um, I already gave him his Christmas presents because he wasn't gonna be here for it. I went pricey. I spent almost $300 on him on this one.
Ooh.
I saved.
Get it,
Um,
girl. Get it, girl. Get it, girl.
I
Get
bought
it,
him
girl.
replicas
It's my
of two of his favorite swords from the anime Sword Art Online, which
nice.
was the custom made sword that Lisbeth made for Kirito, which I want to say a name, but I'm probably confusing it with the other sword. So if you know, you know. And then I got the replica of Asuna's rapier,
Okay.
two of his favorite swords. They are so nice. Like the hilt for Kirito's sword is like leather bound. It's so nice. The one for Asuna is solid wood. It is sturdy. It is beautiful. Like these are amazing replicas.
That's good.
Worth the money. He bragged about it a lot. Uh and then to not get into too much detail here, because that's a long story for later. Um, Originally, I had bought an engagement ring for him 6 years ago and then lost it and never had the time to get another one. I was able to get another one for him this year. And because of my ankle, there was no way if I was getting on a knee, I was getting up anytime soon. Um,
That's fair.
so I presented it to him. He immediately put it on. It was a perfect fit. Like
Yay.
it was the first. It was magical. He loves it. It's simple. It's just like a silver band, but it has like a blue gem in the front. I think it's actual sapphire, and then like it's got fake diamond or like super small, tiny fake diamonds on the sides, which I could care less if
Like
the
the
diamond is real or
cubic
not.
zirconia,
I think so,
that one.
but like the sapphire itself is real, and he loves it. It is minimalistic, but enough that he can brag about it.
Mm,
So I myself am really happy about that one.
that's good.
And
I
he's
love that.
already shown it off to work. He's sent a
Oh.
snap to his best friends and everything. And I need to get him to send me a picture of it so I can share it with people. Like, for example,
I want
you,
to see.
because
I
I
want to
forgot
see.
to
I
send
want to see. I
pictures of it to everyone.
want to
I forgot to send everybody this picture. So that was my like epic failure.
Bitch, how dare you?
So I know I'm the worst.
How dare
But
you not consider my feelings before letting your fiance go to visit his family without first sending me a picture of the ring?
object permanence is a bitch.
It is. Nah,
But
it's fine. I'm not going
that's
anywhere. There's time.
all right. That's basically
I'll
our
see it
year
eventually.
recap,
Yeah, I
right?
do have a few things, a few extras, the ongoing things. So
Mhm.
obviously, I my therapy became weekly after the new year, and that is still ongoing, still going well. It's just good. It's just nice to have her to talk to and help
Mhm.
me figure shit out, help me process things, have it's just nice. If you think you need therapy, get it. We've said this a million times on the podcast before, but if you think you need therapy and you can get it, get it. It's good. It's worth it. If you, I mean, not all of it is good and worth it. Some of them are not. You gotta, you gotta find the right. And also, if you first one you try might not be the right fit, that's fine. That doesn't mean therapy is shit and doesn't work. It just means that type of therapy or that specific therapist might not have been what or who you needed. So if you think you need it and you can get it, get it. That is
100%.
that is my advice. But yeah, so there's that. There's D&D. We started playing D&D again this year. That's been really nice. I've been making resin dice. I switched to using UV resin because epoxy resin is the bane of my existence, and it
Jeez, doggos.
is UV resin is not just quicker to set, but also safer and not as messy, and easier than epoxy resin is. So switched to using that. It's gone, dice making has gone much better. They have looked better coming out of the mold, less air bubbles, all that jazz. And it's a
Remind me.
quicker dopamine fix because they're done faster. Remind you of what?
Remind me to send you money so you can make me a paradise. And by a paradise, I mean a set of dice.
You don't have to send me money. I could just make you a set of dice.
Okay, but I'd feel guilty. That's a conversation.
That's a
for
conversation for
the
another
recording.
time. I got really sassy with that. I don't know what that was.
It was the bobbing of the head for me.
Yeah, so also meds, things have been happening. I might have to come off my current ADHD meds again. I think at the very least I'm going to take a break over Christmas and New Year because I'm starting to get those kind of jittery feelings that I was getting with the other meds I was on previously. You know, when I said it was like this dose, no effect, no effect, no effect, no effect. Oh my god, it's too much. Now I'm jittery and I feel weird and my skin doesn't feel like it fits my body anymore. And I feel like I'm starting to reach that point with this medication, so I'm like, fuck. So I think I'm just gonna take Christmas and New Year period off. Like whenever I run out of the ones I'm on, just not bother and just kind of re-establish where my baseline is, because I've been like playing with going through the process of trial and error with ADHD meds pretty much all year now, and it's really fucking stressing me out. So I need a fucking break from it, to be quite honest. And then the other thing was with the appointments I was having, it was ENT appointments about my possible sleep apnea and my sinuses. I had some blood tests done. I had a camera up my nose a couple times. The blood test showed that I had, because it was an allergy test. I have an allergy to, I think it was like
Life?
grass, tree pollen, dust, house mites, and cats, and something like that. There was like, a bunch of stuff that you very frequently come across in your everyday life, especially when you live in the countryside around a lot of animals. So that was fun. My cat allergy is mild though, thankfully. But yeah, so found out I have a bunch of allergies I didn't know I had, which make a lot of sense. I was pretty sure I had a dust allergy because that does make a lot of sense. My dust allergy, I think, is my worst one. I had a feeling about that for quite some time. I also had a CT scan on my sinuses, and the results for that came back around a week ago. And they said that and I also had a sleep monitor that I had to wear overnight. So those results came back before. They said sign of, I think the words they used was mild to moderate sleep disorder or sleep syndrome or whatever the fuck word they used. I can't remember what exact word they used. So they're referring me to a sleep apnea clinic, because a specialized sleep apnea clinic. And then the CT scan results came back, and there's one section of my sinuses is all inflamed, and
Mhm.
I also have a cyst on my sinuses. And I was
Ouch.
like, oh, that makes a lot of sense, because this side always, like, my nose always feels at least a little bit blocked, like a little bit stuffy.
Mhm.
And no matter how much I blow my nose, it doesn't make any difference. It still feels that way. So I'm like, okay,
Right.
well, if a section of my sinuses is constantly inflamed, that makes a lot of sense. And this side is worse, and like it feels more blocked on this side, like all the time. So I was like, oh, that'll be the cyst then. So, not great news, but at least answers that explain things.
Right.
So that's still ongoing because I have to have an appointment with the sleep clinic. I have to have another appointment with the
Mhm.
ENT clinic to discuss what we're gonna fucking do about my inflammation and my cyst, I guess. Like, I don't really know what the fuck the next steps are, but it's moving towards answers and possible solutions.
Which is
So,
good.
yeah.
Also, I'm glad I switched to the mic output because my dogs are howling.
But yeah, I'm a little concerned because I was I was saying to Steph, like, I hope they don't have to operate, and she was saying that, you know, they can do, depending on where it is and how bad it is, they could do it with lasers. And I was like, yeah, I'm not less worried about that, because I already have, like, so I get nosebleeds really easily. And when I went to the doctors for it when I was at secondary school, um they looked at it and said, like, the inner part of, like, the inner side of my nostrils, the capillaries are really close to the surface, and that's why I get nosebleeds so easily. And they said that normally what they would do about that is, you know, you just take a little thing and you just go up there and you just and you burn a little bit and you cauterize it and seal them off. And he basically said to me, you have so many capillaries that are close to the surface that if we tried to do that, you would no longer have a septum. Like, it would burn all the way through. Like, that's how
Mhm.
many are close. So I was like, the thought of them trying to do anything with lasers or anything at all that has to go in my nose, like, does not fill me with confidence or
No.
anything, any sort of good feeling. So I guess that's still to be figured out. But at least I'm getting answers, even if
Mhm.
they're not good ones. It's still something.
They may not be what you want, but at least it's an answer.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
Um, yeah, I think that's everything for this year.
covers everything for me.
Yeah. I
I think
I
so.
don't really have any plans for, oh, sorry. Oh, good. I don't really have any plans for, like, New Year's or anything, because
Mhm.
New Year's is a pile of shit.
Yeah, I'll be working, so no big deal
Yeah,
there.
I for a couple of years did, like, a sleepover stream where I did, like, played games all evening on stream and, like, party games with whoever was around, and then I'd,
Mhm.
like, sleep on stream and whatever, and then do a little more gaming in the morning, and then, you know, see you in the new year, and then just go about my day afterwards, just end stream and whatever. Um, didn't do that last year because depression and grief, mainly grief. And I don't
Mhm.
really want to fucking do it this year either, because the thought of, I mean, first of all, there's a lot of stuff on this sofa now. Second of all, and also partly the reason why there's a lot of stuff on that sofa is because the idea of someone sitting on Bailey's sofa fills me with a deep nausea.
Mhm.
And the idea of me pulling out that sofa into the sofa bed form and sleeping on it also fills me with a deep, deep nausea. Like, I want to burn that sofa. So
Mhm.
I'm not going to, but I want to, because it's just like,
too much on it.
It's too painful. So it is essentially a table at the moment because I'm like, well, if I put my stuff on it, then people can't sit on it, and then I don't have to look at that sofa and see people that aren't Bailey sitting on that sofa. So,
Right.
yeah. But also that means that I can't really do a sleepover stream because I don't have a bed to pull out. But that's fine. I'll probably just chill and game. I'm not a massive fan of New Year's anyway because I don't like fireworks.
Yeah. We don't really do New Year's fireworks here. 4th of July, yes.
Ugh.
New Year's, not really.
We do over here, and I hate it. I hate fireworks so much. Like, loud noises, sudden loud noises. Not a fan.
Hmm.
Not a fan at all.
Most of my dogs have gotten pretty used to loud noises,
Mm.
considering how much they make.
It's like when I think of New Year's,
But
I think of cold, too many people, too many loud noises from the fireworks, too much alcohol, and none of those things sound appealing to me at all. I would rather stay inside and just like watch a movie or play a video game and just
that's
not
100%
have to
fair.
deal with all that. So that's probably what I'll be doing
So,
New Year's.
but
But
I
yeah.
think that's it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's
But
that's 2024.
yeah. Um, but as always, thank you guys so much for lending us your ears and
Yeah.
eyes.
Mm-hmm.
If you want, you can find me on Twitch at the Danger Bacon. I will eventually load more stuff up there and eventually find a way to get actual stream portions that I've done posted. Until then, I have weird clips that may or may not still be there of just awkward moments.
And you can find me on Twitch at VampZoe or on YouTube at WitchVampZoe. I have been cancelling a lot of my streams lately, because I felt like shit. It's it's a low energy time of year. So I, in theory, um, my next stream will be on a Thursday soon. In reality, I don't know how soon that Thursday is going to be. But yeah. Reddit is down below. I think that's everything. I hope you
Leave a comment
guys,
on episodes you think would be fun.
yes. I hope you guys had a good 2024. Uh, well done. You survived another year. I hope 2025 is better. And with that, we will see you or talk at you next year. Take care of yourselves. Take care of each other. We love you.
Indeed.
Bye.
Bye.